Hey guys, Caitlin with Gravel here, and today I'm going to be going over what I travel with in my camera bag when I'm out of the country. So for the last 6 weeks, we've been in Italy and in Paris during the Olympics. During those 2.5 weeks I was in Paris for the Olympics, I carried this bag with me everywhere. So let's dive into all the things that I definitely bring with me on my travels. For starters, this is the Peak 10-liter everyday carry bag, and honestly, I love it. One of the main perks, and I'll just show you right away, is that in the back pouch of this bag, I carry my MacBook Pro 14-inch. And it's pretty epic that a very, very small bag can carry a MacBook Pro. And this is awesome for if you want to go to a cafe and you don't want to bring like a huge backpack, you can just bring the sling. So if you have the 14-inch, this is already a great reason to get this bag for your travels. So because I'm traveling, I only have my FX3 with me, not my FX30 as well, which is usually what I'd shoot these videos on when I'm talking about the FX3. So I'm shooting this on the Osmo Pocket 3 that I also always travel with. And so I'll show you kind of like the top of the bag. The core of it is the FX3, and then inside we have all of the accessories. So I'll just pull them out and share one by one what they are. So first up, we have the Sony FX3 with the 24-70 Sigma 2.8. This is my go-to lens. I was always apprehensive to buying a 24-70. I thought they were kind of like a boring lens, but once I got one, and especially Sigma, it's so beautiful and it just does a great job at capturing everything you need. So this lens is definitely one of my main use lenses, and I only travel with 2 lenses. So I have the Sigma 24-70, and before I forget, this is the Peak Design, kind of their thinner strap that I use. So this one I love, and the way that I have it rigged to the camera is actually on the side like this, not in the typical carry spots. And that's so that when I wear it, it actually just sits on the side like this, and I'm able to sling it up, shoot, and then throw it back down. Whereas if it's kind of like this, it's way more noticeable when you're out in public, and especially when you're traveling, you don't want to become kind of this like everyone's staring at you for your camera gear kind of person. So I try to always keep that out of the way. I'll move this out of the way for now. As for accessories for the Sony FX3, I always bring this Sony mic. I love this thing. It electronically connects, so there's no cables to deal with. Super, super, super nice. Next up, we have, I've covered this before, this is the PGY-Tech SD card holder and reader. So it has all of these spots, but it also has a built-in USB-C cable, and you're able to plop your SD cards and micro SDs right here. This also holds SIM cards, but that is kind of useless now that eSIMs are definitely the go-to when you're traveling. But that's kind of nice that it holds all these things. It's a rugged case, and it has a little clip as well, so you can leave it in your apartment or do whatever you want. You don't have to carry it in your actual bag. Next up, I'm always gonna bring ND filters with me, which this is kind of a bulky case, but I have a 3, 6, and 10 stop ND filter, as well as a Black Pro mist filter in here, and a circular polarizer. So I bring a lot of filters just so that I have them all to get the crispiest image, since I am shooting for a brand and not just for like myself. Although, all that to say, even if I was shooting for myself, I'd still bring those NDs just to be able to shoot more professional looking work. Next up, I always bring a little tiny action camera. So I have the Insta360 Go3S. This is the new version of this camera, shoots 4K. And I absolutely love it because not only is it this small, it's then this small, and then I bring the hat clip and I'm able to just throw it up here, which is super, super nice. So love having that. And next up, these are the mics I'm currently recording on, which is the DJI Wireless Mics. This is the first version. I don't have the second version. They're still working great. I absolutely love these. They make my workflow so much easier for good audio and being able to be far away from the camera while traveling and, you know, making YouTube videos. And as for my second lens that I travel with, it's the 16-35 Powerzoom f4. And the perk of the Powerzoom is that it's really small and really lightweight. Obviously f4 can be a little annoying in low light, but with the FX3's 12,800 base ISO, I've really never come across that being like an actual issue. So this is really nice to travel with, and I definitely want to go anywhere without the 16-35. I love a wide angle perspective, so that's super nice. So that is actually everything that I carry in here. Again, this is that back area for the MacBook. In this top pouch, you have an area for SD cards, Sony batteries, anything you need. And then I really love this front pocket. I actually would throw my phone in here. Sometimes my wallet, not typically with travel, I would put it in the MacBook sleeve so that it's as deep as possible. And one really crucial thing that I always keep within my bags, like every single camera travel bag I own, is a Eufy security little smart square, and I put these in all of them. I make sure they're linked to my phone, and I'm able to find a bag if it ever were to get stolen. And I always try to hide them in a spot that isn't very findable. So it would be in the back, kind of in this like area here. So it would be actually that I have to dig to find it. And then another thing that I always make sure to bring is one of our Gravel TSA 311 bags. These are incredible. I brought 5 of these on the trip I've been on for the last 6 weeks. And inside of here is something that I'm actually really stoked on and I've been using for the last 6 weeks, been really impressed with. It's the Tesson 100 watt universal travel adapter. So you have, you know, all of the different countries' uses. And then on top of that, the best part is you have 2 USB-Cs, which are really hard to find on travel adapters, with high wattage, I should say. And then 2 USB-As. This thing, we have used it exclusively to literally charge everything. We brought all of our phones, our MacBook Pros, because you need 100 watts for that. So we've been able to use that while on top of being able to plug in another you know, actual like AC plug. And if you need like a converter so that it doesn't like blow your power, this also does that as well. And the last thing that I always make sure to bring is this tiny little Ulanzi travel tripod. This is actually meant for like a desktop tripod, but I love it because it has extendable legs. So this I've used with my Sony FX3 on the ground, you know, in busy cities. I'll just like throw it there, run over, film my shot, and then go pick it back up. It's also kind of nice to use as like a grip for vlogging. So it has multi-uses and I definitely bring it everywhere I go. Really quickly to thank the sponsor of this video, it's actually us, Gravel Travel. We are a travel goods company that make travel products that actually make your traveling life so much easier. And this is coming from someone who's been to over 5 countries this year, has been traveling over the last 10 years a ton. And using our travel blankets was actually a huge game changer for me to be able to sleep on planes and to feel comfy. Also, this TSA 311 bag that doesn't let liquids in or out. I literally brought 5 of these on this trip and I plan to always travel with one of these. So that's super, super nice. But make sure you check out, we're actually launching the Ultra Pack Mini, which is basically a mini version of our travel blanket. Super nice to bring with you literally everywhere while traveling. If you ever need to sit down on the ground or in a park or wherever, it's super nice to throw this down and actually have like, you know, a covered area to sit on. I did that while in Paris and I'm so glad that I had this little tiny guy. It's almost just as small as my 16 to 35, so you can bring it with you literally anywhere. I'll clip it onto my Peak Design bag and head out for the day. As a thank you to our YouTube community, we're actually giving a discount code, so make sure you type this in at checkout and you'll get 10% off. All right, so a really simple video for you guys today. Let me know what you think of this travel videographer setup. I hear a lot of times in the comments, why would you ever travel with such a large setup? So in my Sony FX3 video that we just posted a few weeks back, a ton of people said that this was way too big to be traveling with. But when you're making videos professionally, it's absolutely not too big. You should see how big the actual cinema cameras are, like large cinema cameras. This technically is a cinema camera, but it is more like the prosumer line. So in my mind, this is a very small and light setup. I've traveled with like really heavy backpacks completely full of camera gear or Pelican roller cases. So for me, this is like everything cinched down. I've also had a baby recently 3 months ago, and now I'm carrying a diaper bag, a stroller. Like traveling internationally has become a lot more to carry for my son. And so having a really small setup like this, I literally know because I did it for the last 6 weeks, it's absolutely doable. And what I'll do is pack this bag inside of our carry-on because I don't want to check camera gear obviously on its own. So I will pack it into our carry-on roller bag, and that way it's there with me, but I'm not carrying it on my back because typically while traveling, I'm carrying my son. So, you know, it's just nice to be able to have something that works. And I have proof that it does because it works for me. So let me know in the comments if you think this could work for you, if you just want a more minimalist setup, or you too have kids but you want to travel with like actual professional gear. There becomes kind of this new element of surprise that you have to work with, and I'm really surprised actually to say it works. So if you haven't subscribed to the Gravel Travel channel, help us get to 8,000 subscribers. We're almost there, and we will chat with you very soon. See you in the next one. Peace.